Did anyone else watch My Little Pony growing up? Because I'm just randomly rewatching episodes. And how was Twilight standing on this thing? Like, did anyone else ever imagine this thing on this train to be like paper thin? Because that's what I always thought. And I'm just wondering, how is she standing on this? Like, it's curved. All four hooves are on this curved thing. And she's not like tipping over or anything. She's like extremely balanced. Like, how is this happening? I am in a really bad reading slump, like a really bad one. I was recording a Keeping 13 reading vlog for you guys, and then I just realized I'm not into reading whatsoever right now. I'm enjoying the book, I really am. It's just, for some reason these past few days, I have not felt like reading, and I think I like burnt myself out, maybe with like Binding 13, because it's such a long book, and then I immediately dove into Keeping 13, but I think I'm in like a really bad reading slump, because I haven't properly read anything in like the past 4 or 5 days, and I'm just like, oh my god. And like this reading slump is so bad. It's just like, I didn't even realize for these past few days, oh my god, I haven't read anything until like last night, where it was just like, I think I'm in a reading slump. You know, life is always better with a book. So we're gonna try to get out of this reading slump together, because it's really bad right now. It's so bad, actually. Do you guys ever get the feeling where like you hate to admit to yourself that you're in a reading slump? Because that was me these past 4 days, actually. I'm just like, I'm not in a reading slump. Maybe I'm just bored of the book I'm reading. And so I've been trying to read like so many books. I've been through Dark Matter, Keeping 13 obviously, and then like Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm like in the middle of 3 books right now, and I haven't finished any of them. And so we are gonna try to get out of this reading slump. You know, I think my problem is I haven't read any fantasy books for a long time. Like, seriously, I've been reading like contemporary, a lot of romance, and just like a bunch of random books. I have not read fantasy in so long, and I think that's my problem, actually, because I love fantasy. So the fact that I took such a long break from it is kind of concerning to me, if I'm being honest. So we are gonna try to read some fantasy books to get out of this reading slump. Our first book is gonna be Fable by Adrienne Young. I don't know how much fantasy is in here. I know it's a fantasy book and there's like a romance in it. I know this is about pirates, that's pretty much it, and that, sorry, someone was just randomly staring into the windows of this house. Yeah, I know there's pirates in here, and I know the main character's name is Fable. Also, can we just talk about like this gorgeous cover, like this beautiful red hair, this like gorgeous blue eye. It's like so pretty, and then like when you connect the first 2 books together, it like makes an entire face. Welcome to a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, where a young girl must find her place in a family while trying to survive in a world built for men. Honestly, that's so real. But yeah, we are gonna get started on Fable. I don't know if I'm gonna start it right now. I'll tell you guys when I do start it. You guys want to know when I recorded that intro? 2 days ago. It's been 2 days, right? I've only read 1 chapter of this book. I have a problem. I seriously have a problem. I want to read so badly, but my brain just won't compute it won't process anything. This is like driving me crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do here? I swear to God, I'm interested in you. I just can't. I can't think right now. You know what? We're gonna try to read some of this book, and if I can't get into this one, then I'll try another book, I guess. This has been going on for like 2 weeks, though. I've been switching from book to book to book. I'm trying to record so many reading vlogs right now, and it's just none of them are working out. I'm just gonna force myself into it. You know what? I'm just gonna do it because I want to read so badly, and it's just my brain is not doing what I want it to right now. Okay, is that good? Oh, I wanted to show you guys my fluffy egg. This is Sunshine, Sunny for short. I got my mom to name it. Isn't it cute? Okay, it is the next day and I am on chapter 12. And if I'm being honest, I don't really know what I'm reading. Or no, okay, I do. It's just, if I'm being honest, I could care less about like this whole pirate ship business, because that's basically what this whole book has been about so far. I'm kind of bored. I'm like genuinely so bored. I don't know like what's fantasy about this book exactly, other than the world. So far only the world is fantasy. I don't know if there's any like magic or anything, and I don't know, I'm just genuinely bored. Also, I kind of spoiled sold myself on who the main couple would be, and it was kind of like a match I wasn't hoping for. Like, I was just thinking, okay, this couple will be too predictable, but is it okay if it's too predictable? But the thing is, I didn't want them together. Not because they're like bad or anything, because I just personally think it's boring. I don't know if this is helping with my reading slump or if it's making it worse. I've gone 12 chapters in. That's like the best I've done in like a while. So I don't know. I guess I'll continue reading. I've been listening to the audiobook. I listened to it in class. Don't do that, guys. Okay, don't do what I do. Please pay attention in class. Don't do what I do and secretly read on my laptop. I downloaded the audiobook off of Libby, and so I listened to it in class. It's okay. It's just not, it's not grabbing me the way I want it to, and I really, really want it to, but I'm just so bored right now. But I'll update you guys again when I continue reading. Finished Fable by Adrienne Young last night. I think I'm gonna rate it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't a bad book. I just was really bored the entire time for some reason. I also wasn't attached to the couple. I felt like the couple, I don't know why, but the romance was like really slow in the beginning. It's like a subplot romance, okay? It's not like the main focal point of the story, which I like. I like subplot romances. But then near the ending, it got really, really fast. I don't know why, but in the beginning it was so slow, which I liked because we got to see like their little moments and everything. Like, they were very subtle. I like subtle. And then we got to the ending and it like hit us like a bus. I'm just like, what is happening here? Like, you were progressing so well, and then suddenly we just get this kiss scene near the ending underwater. And like, I love underwater kiss scenes, don't get me wrong, but it happens so fast. I'm just like, why are you moving so quickly now? We just said to the finish line of like, what are you doing? Also, I wasn't interested in the plot whatsoever. So obviously our main character is Fable, right? And she's been left on this island by her father, who's like a very, very powerful pirate in this world, Saint. She's not allowed to tell anyone that Saint is her father, and so she has to make it off this island called Javal or something like that. And like, once she makes it off the island and goes back to meet her father, then he'll give her something that belongs to her. And so once she gathers enough money, she goes to this pirate named West and his crew. They take her off Javal, a sort of found family thing going on. Sort of, I don't know why, but I wasn't attached to like the found family either in this book. This book had like a very boring quality to it, and I can't really put my finger on why exactly, but I just wasn't interested in this whatsoever. And like, that's the problem, because it has like everything I like. It had the subplot romance. It was kind of a slow burn in the beginning until the ending. We ignore the ending. It had like the sort of found family. It had like the secret identity thing. I also like the secret identity tropes. Like, she was hiding the fact that she was this very powerful pirate's daughter. Like, I like all those things. It felt very drawn out, I guess, because I just wasn't interested in like the pirate ship stuff. There was a lot of pirate ship stuff going on. I did warm up to the characters, I really did, but I also felt like the characters were very wary of Fable in the beginning, right? Because it's like a world full of pirates. Like, you can't tell anyone anything, otherwise they might use it against you. So they were like very wary of Fable in the beginning, right? Which makes sense. But then it kind of got to a point where that also sped up like their sort of bonding experience, where they kind of got to a point where they were wary of her to suddenly liking her, like very, very suddenly liking her. I know she did things to make them like her, but I felt like that just shifted from not liking to liking very quickly. It was very sudden, if I'm being honest. So yeah, 3 out of 5. There were a lot of things about this book that I would have liked if they were written differently, I guess. Yeah, not a bad book. It's just not my type of writing style, I guess. Okay, and the next book I'm reading, I decided to go from sort of fantasy to very, very heavy fantasy. We are reading Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I started this in class. Again, don't do what I do. Please pay attention in class. So far, we have our main character, or like one of our main characters. I don't even want to know if I want to try to pronounce this. This guy right here, he's the first perspective we get in the book. He's the Prince of Arlon, but also near Arlon, there's this other sort of city called Elantris, where it used to be like a city of gods, quote unquote gods, okay? Don't take the god thing seriously. They were people who were god-like. So there is this thing, oh, I don't even want to know if I want to try to pronounce this either, but it's kind of like this curse. But in the beginning, this thing wasn't a curse. It was more like a blessing. If you were blessed with this thing, then you became like a god-like creature. Like your skin would become like luminescent, your hair would become white, and you would get these magic powers. You could use them very easily. But then one day, this blessing becomes a curse. It gives you like this very horrid appearance and like makes you very, very weak. Not weak necessarily, but like if you get injured, then you basically have that injury for eternity. So you feel that injury's pain for like as long as you live. It's very hard for them to die as well. Before, Elantris had been obviously the city of like gods, right? But now it's like the city of the cursed. So now when anyone's cursed, they get dumped into Elantris, and the kingdom of Arlon is basically like guarding Elantris, like making sure that anyone who catches this curse is dumped into that city. And then we have our second main character. I believe her name is pronounced like Serene or something. That's how I've been pronouncing it in my head. It's this name right here. I don't know if you can see that. And she's like the princess of another country, and she had been engaged to this guy right here. The thing is, the kingdom of Arlon is playing off his like him being cursed. Oh yeah, right. In the beginning, our main character got cursed, like very straight in the beginning, like right away. This is not a spoiler, okay? And so yeah, because the prince got cursed, the king and queen don't want anyone to know that their son got cursed, because people believe that the curse is given to people who deserve it. So if people find out that the prince got the curse, right, then they'll be like, oh, does the royal family deserve to be cursed? You know, that sort of thing. And so Serene had this is me several hours later. We had to change talking spots because before, when I was talking, no one was home, and then suddenly everyone came home, so I had to shut off the camera really quickly. What I was talking about before, our second main character, Serene, she was supposed to get married to this guy, but this guy ended up quote unquote dying when really he caught the curse, but the royal family doesn't want anyone to figure out he caught the curse. So she thinks he died when really he's just cursed and in Elantris, and so she's now the quote unquote married princess to this kingdom, to a family she's never met, and she's never met this guy, so she's married to a dead guy she never met when really this guy is not dead. And then apparently this guy in the middle right here is supposed to be our third main character, but we haven't met him yet. Anyways, I'll probably continue reading this tonight, and I'll update you guys again once I get further in. Okay, it is actually a new day. I think you guys know at this point I have a habit of re-wearing clothes, but we don't comment on it, okay? So I'm basically where I was since the last time I updated you guys. I haven't read much, if I'm being honest, because I've been really busy actually. Probably a little bit because I'm in a reading slump, but mostly because I have been busy these past few days, so I haven't had the time to read. But I'm gonna read a bit now. I have to go out later to like a hockey watch party or something. I don't know. My friend invited me to it, so I'm not really sure what is gonna be there. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of hockey or like sports in general, so I have like no hockey jersey to wear, so I hope I'm not like the only one sticking out like a sore thumb. But yeah, we are just gonna start reading. So it's been a few days, and for some reason I can't get into this book, so I think I'm gonna put it down for now. I think it's really interesting, so I'll definitely pick it back up some other time. I think it's because I'm taking summer classes and like my brain is being overexerted, so I think I need something simpler to read than Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson's writing is like very straightforward, I guess you could say. Like it's not that hard to understand, but like his world building is definitely a lot sometimes, so I'm gonna put this down for now. And I actually borrowed a book from the library on my phone phone. I actually have a physical copy of it, so I'll show you guys. I just randomly started The Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead on my phone because, I don't know, I was just scrolling through the fantasy books on my phone in the library and this popped up and I have the book and I'm trying to read some of the books on my physical TBR. I just randomly decided to start with this one. I have a feeling I'll get really into it. I'm not really sure how fantasy this is. I'm trying to like continue the fantasy train in this video because I started out with Fable, tried Elantris, couldn't get into it. So now Vampire Academy is next. Again, not sure how much like fantasy is in here. I'm assuming there's obviously vampires, but I don't know too much else about it. I've only gotten like I think 4 or 6% in, and it's really reminding me of like the Vampire Diaries because the vampires can like compel people to do what they want. I'm not sure if this got like any inspiration from the Vampire Diaries or if like the Vampire Diaries came after this and the Vampire Diaries got inspiration from this. Which one came first? I'm not really sure. That's pretty much what it's reminding me of. I also know there's a TV show on Peacock, I'm pretty sure. It says right here. So but yeah, I know the series is old, but it's also like decently popular, so I decided to give it a try because I know quite a few people like this. I'm not sure why they like it, but I guess I'll find out. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting I'm even filming this video because I'm filming so many videos at once right now. I'm around 30% into the Vampire Academy. I think you can guess at this point. I read most of it in class. I did read some of it last night in bed though, so improvement. I don't know if I'm liking this or if I'm hating this. Like it's kind of bad, but in a good way. And also I don't know who the main love interest is. And you guys know I actually really like that. I like me guessing, okay? And so if I can't guess who the main love interest is this a possibility that it's gonna be a subplot romance? I don't know. And I also really like those. And subplot romances are also automatically slow burn romances. And I know there's a lot of books in this series for some reason. So I'm kind of hoping. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading. After Vampire Academy, I'm gonna read one more book and then the video is gonna end there. But we'll see. I'm still slightly in a reading slump, but not really. I think it's going away. Like thankfully, I think it's going away because I actually feel like reading now for some reason. Praying that the next book will fix that. Okay, I'm gonna be kind of random right now, but there's like this one book I finished while I was reading Fable that I forgot to mention to you guys. I completely read the entire thing in class, which is why I think I kept forgetting to mention it to you guys. And it's Before the Coffee Gets Cold by whatever the author's name is. I'll put the book up here somewhere. I rated it a 3 out of 5. Again, I finished the entire thing in class, so I think that's why I kept forgetting to tell you guys that I was reading it. I was reading it while I was reading Fable. Like I kept switching between books every time I was like at home or in class. So it's basically about this cafe who has like this sort of time traveling thing. If you sit in a specific seat, you can go back in time. But the thing is, there's like a whole bunch of rules and stuff. So like you can only time travel once. You have to be sitting in that specific seat. You can't move from that specific seat. And there's like hundreds of rules that you have to follow. And we just see like multiple stories of different people going back in time and like why they want to go back in time. And also the fact that you can't really change the future even if you do go back in time, or you can't change the present. You could say there's like no real purpose to going back in time, but also there is, and you kind of figure out like why people want to go back in time when you read this book. I don't know, I thought it was really interesting. It was just, I don't know, I felt like it was missing something in a way. Like I know it's literary fiction, so I'm not the biggest literary fiction fan, so I'm not really sure what I want to like get out of that genre, but I rated it a 3 out of 5. I didn't think it was bad at all. Like I enjoyed it in some parts. I think I was just bored because with like general fiction books, sometimes they have like no general plot, and so you're kind of just reading for the sake of reading it, I guess. And that's what it always feels like to me. I'm not, again, not the biggest like general fiction reader at all, so I'm probably not like appreciating this enough as much as I should be. So yeah, 3 out of 5. It wasn't bad at all. I finished it after I finished Fable, so that was a while ago. Okay, now back to Vampire Academy. I'm around 55% in, and actually it's kind of enjoyable because, okay, I figured out who the main love interest is. I kind of already guessed who it was. The romance isn't awful, if I'm being honest. Like it's not bad. I'm kind of enjoying it. Like it's a really old book, so I'm not really sure what to be expecting out of this. Also, I have like, I guess, a new appreciation for female friendships. Or no, I've always appreciated female friendships. I guess they're just never shown enough in books, I feel like. And I actually really like this friendship. It's between our main character Rose and her best friend Lisa, and they are so great together because they both want to protect each other so badly. And the school they go to is just awful. Everyone loves gossiping, and it's like split between like, I guess, the guardians who are supposed to protect the royals. The royals are also the other side of like the split factions, I guess. And yeah, they're so sweet. I love them so much. I feel like female friendships in books aren't shown enough. Maybe I'm just reading the wrong books, like who knows, but I'm kind of invested. I don't think it's the best thing in the world, but I am like decently enjoying enjoying this. I think it's probably the book I've been enjoying most in this video so far. So hopefully like it keeps going well, and I'll update you guys again later. I just finished Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It was definitely like the most enjoyable book I read in this video, or maybe it's because I'm like slowly getting out of my reading slump, which is why I enjoyed this one the most. It was kind of bad, but like in a good way. I don't know how to explain that. Like you guys probably get it. Like there are things that are so bad that they're entertaining. The next book I'm gonna read is one that I started. When did I even start this? Like was it March or something? It's One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I got 50% of the way through. Like literally, I was 50% of the way through, and then I just decided to put it down because I was really bored. I didn't feel the chemistry with the main couple, and I was kind of hoping for like the main love interest to be someone else, but sadly I also spoiled myself on that, and I was very disappointed to find out that it's the guy she's currently with or supposed to get with. And I don't know, I just got really bored. I didn't feel any chemistry with this specific couple, and I thought it was like very instant attraction. I kind of wanted to continue with this one because we're on a fantasy train right now, if you know what I mean. So I don't know, I'll pick it back up, see how it goes, and if I pick another book I'll let you guys know later. Really? I am around, well, no, not around, but I'm exactly 80% into this book, and I found out another reason why I put it down in the first place. It's because I'm not attached to any of these characters whatsoever. Like, I don't know what's with this book, but I feel like none of them have any personality whatsoever, and I'm like genuinely curious how that's possible. I don't know, but I feel like none of them have any personality, and if any of them were to die right this very moment, I don't think I would care. Like, I'm a very character-driven reader, so the fact that I'm not attached to any of these characters, kind of concerning, honestly. No, like, I'm just genuinely curious. Like, how the hell does none of these characters have any personality to me whatsoever? It might just be me. Am I a problem? Because I think I've rated every single book in this video around 3 stars, and the highest one has been 3.5 stars, and I'm like genuinely considering rating this around a 3 stars as well. We'll see. I have like 70 pages left, so we'll see how that goes. I finished One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I'm kind of surprised with my rating, actually. I'm rating it a 3.75 out of 5, which is the highest rating in this video. That is so sad. Okay, in the end, I never became attached to any of these characters. Sort of. I didn't become attached, but I sort of started liking the Nightmare, which is the monster that's in our main character Elspeth's head. Is that weird to say? I don't know, because if you guys have read this book, you'll know he's kind of like, I guess, the villain of the story in a way. I don't know, I feel like romantasy for me has felt so bland lately. I don't know why. Maybe I just need to stop reading romantasy and just go to a plain old fantasy, but yeah, maybe that's the problem, or maybe I'm just the problem. I have no clue. I never became attached to any of these characters whatsoever. Again, if any of them died, would not shed a single tear. What I did appreciate about this story though was like the storytelling. Like, the author is genuinely a very good writer. I don't know what it is about her characters that kind of just irk me into thinking that they have no personality whatsoever, but that's just what I think. I'm so sorry if any of you like this book. Surprisingly, I do have an appreciation for storytelling, which really shocked me actually when I rated this book. Like, enjoyment wise, I think out of all the books in this video, I enjoyed Vampire Academy, but this writing was a lot better than Rochelle Mead's, if I'm being honest. So that's why I rated it slightly higher. I really don't know what my rating system is at this point. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this video actually. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave down in the comments your favorite fantasy book, because I'm trying to get myself back into fantasy. I think I've been reading romance for way too long, so comment down below what your favorite fantasy book is, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!